BJ Mafia was popping. So for you guys that are NBA fans, but I'm sure Pelicans fans are extremely well aware, if you haven't been paying attention, the New Orleans Pelicans are the #1 team in the Western Conference. They've been taking the league by storm. They've been doing this all without their second best player and scorer in Brandon Ingram, and Zion Williamson has been dominating the NBA this past season. And as you can see from the title of this video, I'm going to be talking about today why the New Orleans Pelicans are the best team in the Western Conference. And I'm not just talking off records and standings. I'm hopping on the bandwagon. I'm pushing the agenda. The New Orleans Pelicans are not only the best team in the Western Conference, they're going to make a deep postseason run this upcoming season if they are healthy. I truly believe it, and I'm going to give you 3 reasons why here today the New Orleans Pelicans are the best team in the Western Conference. Now, the first reason the New Orleans Pelicans are the best team in the Western Conference is simply off head coach Willie Green. Now, we see plenty of talented rosters all across the league, and the prime example of that comes with the Brooklyn Nets. You can put a great team and you can put a great roster together, but if you don't have the coach that can make everything work together, then you're not going to have a successful team. I don't care what the circumstances are. The Brooklyn Nets were the prime example of that under Steve Nash. And look at what the New Orleans Pelicans are now doing with young head coach Willie Green, who's really got this culture, regime, and the turnaround of this franchise heading in the right direction. Because if you go back a couple of years when the New Orleans Pelicans had success with Alvin Gentry, they had success with Anthony Davis in that team back in the day. They eventually let go of Alvin Gentry. Stan Van Gundy came in for 1 full season prior to him being fired, and then sure enough, Willie Green comes in and takes over the job last season. They get into the play-in tournament, they make the number 8 seed in the Western Conference, and they take the former NBA Western Conference Finals champs in the Phoenix Suns to 6 games, and the New Orleans Pelicans gave them a run for their money, all without Zion Williamson, who missed the entire 2021 season with a foot injury. Willie Green got that team prepped, prepared, and ready, and he really turned that team around quicker than a lot of people realize. And the New Orleans Pelicans did a great job because Willie Green really does have this team trending in the right direction, and you've seen it carry into this season now with Zion Williamson. The Pelicans currently sit at 18-8. They're the #1 team in the Western Conference, and this team is ascending before our very eyes. Willie Green has proven on a multitude of occasions why he's one of the best young, bright minds in the NBA. The second reason the New Orleans Pelicans are the best team in the Western Conference is because I think top to bottom, maybe next to the Golden State Warriors, this is the best roster in the Western Conference, and this is why this team's going to make a deep postseason run. It's because of their depth. When you obviously look at 3 great guys, all-star caliber players, and guys like Zion Williamson, CJ McCollum, Brandon Ingram are going to be the first names to come to mind, but look at their depth all across the board. You've got guys like Devontae Graham, Trey Murphy, Jonas Valanciunas was an amazing trade when they traded away Steven Adams just a few seasons ago. Then you look at other guys like Larry Nance Jr., Jose Alvarado, Herbert Jones is one of the best wing defenders in the game, and he's really improved his offensive arsenal. The New Orleans Pelicans have absolutely the depth and the key matchups to match up with any team in the Western Conference that you want to see. Yeah, you're going to play superstars. The superstars are going to go and get their numbers, but all across the board, the grit and intensity that this team plays with, especially in transition, you see just how talented and superb this team is, especially all across the board. And while CJ McCollum has not had the best of seasons, he's definitely had a down year, averaging about 17 points a game and only shooting about 31% from 3. Not very characteristic of a guy like CJ McCollum, but what they're doing right now is absolutely impressive, and I've got to say, you know what? The depth and especially what they've proven to me all across the board, this team is for real, and you just saw it especially the other night when Jose Alvarado had a career-high 8 threes versus the Denver Nuggets. Something special to watch, man. This team has absolutely all of the talent and depth in the world. And the third and most important reason as to why the New Orleans Pelicans are the best team in the Western Conference is obviously going to come with 2019 NBA Draft #1 overall pick, Zion Williamson himself. And Zion Williamson has absolutely ascended himself into that top 5, top 3 MVP candidate discussion. He's obviously in the conversation with other guys like Joel Embiid, Nikola Jokic, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Jason Tatum, the list goes on. Zion Williamson has ascended himself into that list, and he's playing out of his mind right now. Let's take a look at what Zion's actually done in these last couple of games. Let me read you off some of these stats. Zion Williamson, 35-8-3, 35-7-4, 29-10-5, 25-6-4, 30-15-8, 33-10-5, 23-8-8. It is absolutely absurd what he is able to do. And look at what he's averaging in the last 7 games. 30 points a game, 9 rebounds, 5.5 assists, 1 steal a game, 1 block per game, and he's shooting 67% from the field. He is absolutely an MVP candidate. And Zion Williamson is obviously the key to this offense. He's the key to both sides of the ball, and he's the face of this franchise. The New Orleans Pelicans absolutely got a great player in Zion Williamson, and he's absolutely showing you right here, right now, why he had all the hype coming out of high school, coming out of of Duke, and he's proving it right now in the NBA after being an all-star, and he just signed that extension, which is actually going to kick into next season. I believe it's a $194 million contract extension that he got from the New Orleans Pelicans, even after missing his entire 2021 season due to that foot injury. Now, two things I do want to say about Zion Williamson before I kind of wrap up this video is that, one, we all saw that insane dunk that he had the other night versus the Phoenix Suns when the clock was running out, and he put on an absolute show with that dunk. And I want to first of all say that I have zero problems with that at all. Coming from a guy who's played basketball for 6-7 years, and I've played pickup now for the last 4 or 5 years now, being removed out of high school, I just want to say that I know it's an unwritten rule of basketball, but I had no problems with it, especially versus the Phoenix Suns. The Phoenix Suns are a punk team. Let's just keep it real. I feel like a majority of NBA fans, including myself, do not like the Phoenix Suns. There's a lot of great guys on the Suns, but I think overall the demeanor and the arrogance of that team, a lot of people don't like. And if Zion was going to do it to one team, I think the Phoenix Suns was one of those teams that it was okay to do it to. I understand that 9 times out of 10, you dribble the clock out. But you know what? Why are the Phoenix Suns going to overreact to that? I had no problem with Zion Williamson doing that. I had thought he put on a show. And you know what? To end the game that way, I thought that was something special, especially at home. I got no problems with it. I could go further, but I'm not going to elaborate anymore. That's just my thoughts on that. And the last thing I want to say with Zion Williamson is, if you guys recall from me about a year ago, if you guys have been following me on the channel, if you guys are new to my channel, I'm going to expose myself. I'm going to put myself on blast right here, right now, because I can take criticism, and I'm absolutely aware of it. But I did say that Zion Williamson is officially a bust. Now, pump your brakes if you're new here. Hear me out, because I will link to the video up above so that you guys can see, but because I know most of you guys won't go and watch the video, let me just say this first and foremost. I made that video because I did not believe that Zion Williamson was a bust because of his on-court production. That was besides the point. Zion Williamson on the court is a phenomenal player. He's going to be a multi-time All-Star. He's probably going to make All-NBA a lot of times in his career. The reason I said Zion Williamson is officially a bust, and I honestly still stand by that until I get proven wrong, is simply off the fact is, with all of the hype coming out of high school, coming out of Duke, and then being the #1 overall pick, his body, I don't know how it's going to hold up. And I know that that's a concern for a lot of Pelicans fans and a lot of NBA fans out there. Zion Williamson on the court is phenomenal. My issue with him is I need to see longevity in his career. I need to see him stay healthy, and I need to see him maintain that weight to make sure that he does not keep on sustaining lower body injuries for the rest of his career. Obviously, I do not wish that upon him. I think that's a fair assessment on him, because I do believe that on the court he is phenomenal, but I need to not see him miss 100+ games in his career, and he's already trending in that direction. I understand injuries are inevitable, but Zion Williamson has every reason in the world, being a professional athlete, being relatively young, and also playing in the NBA, to have all of the medical attention and all the right physicians and physical trainers around him to ensure that his diet and that his body is in top tier shape. Not everybody's perfect. I just don't want to see this guy have a career and we all wonder what it could have been, like Derrick Rose. But Zion Williamson still has a weight problem, even though he's doing a much better job. I just wanted to put that out there. I need to see longevity in his career, and I need to see him sustain his health. That's all I want out of Zion Williamson on the court. Rooting for him. Got nothing but love for Pelicans fans. This is a real team, and this team is going to go far in the playoffs. But NBA fans, I want to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. Pelicans fans, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Do you believe that the New Orleans Pelicans are the best team in the Western Conference, and do you think that this team can make a deep postseason run? I want to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. And if you guys enjoyed today's video, man, make sure you guys drop me a thumbs up. It takes 1 second, and it helps me in the channel out tremendously. And if you guys are new here, consider hitting that subscribe bell to stay tuned for more Jaguars and NBA content that I do here on YouTube. And make sure y'all go follow me on my socials, especially on Twitter. I'm very active, and I'm on there every single day. The link tree will be in the description down below. But thanks again for sticking around throughout the whole video. Brett James, aka BJ. I'm out, y'all. Peace.